Alright, what's up, broskies? Welcome back to another episode of 99. Last episode was pretty lit. We got to see Sora use her spirit gun, and that was like my favorite part of the episode by far. But, you know, there was some good conversation with Ghost. We kind of found out, like, hey, she actually is evil. She is the evil eye user. Found out a lot of stuff. And then Sophie actually came and tried to rescue us. That was pretty interesting. A lot going on right now, and so I'm excited. Hopefully it'll continue to keep going from here. I mean, you can't just build me up like that and then just go back to talking again. I mean, I like the talking too, but I need a little bit of action in there, you know? Keep me interested, keep me going. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what is happening here. Sora let me use the bed last night. I mean, it's my bed, so it's not like I should need permission. But, you know, she's your little Omoto. Of course she's gonna get the bed. But I still couldn't get much sleep. It's just so weird not being able to feel two of my limbs. Oh yeah, and then part of his body's turned to stone. I totally forgot about that. Every time I was about to doze off, I tried to roll over and realized I couldn't. Then I was wide awake again. The sun was rising by the time I finally fell asleep. That was barely 3 hours ago. It's 9 in the morning now and I'm awake again. I don't want to mess up my sleep schedule too badly, so I reluctantly decide to get out of bed. Sora's already awake. She's wearing a pair of earbuds and watching a video while she downs a glass of milk. Yes. Thank goodness, I'm not the only one who just drinks straight up milk. My wife thinks that's weird. As I struggle my way up, she realizes I'm awake and turns to look at me.
Ohayo. Ohayo. Mian 全然眠れてて。あ、よかった。咳か、溶け始めてる。
Oh, okay. That's good.
あ、本当だ。
Just gotta sleep it off, I guess. I can bend my elbow and my knee. The gray plague afflicting my limbs has started to recede.
可動域がすげえ広がった。関節って大事だな。かなり楽だ。
Gosh, that's kind of a shame that the people that got fully turned to stone, they don't have this where they revert back.
ほんとよかった。結構溶けるスピード速いね。
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a super strong ability unless you're fighting 1v1.
これならあと2、3日くらいで完治するかもな。
Yeah, I'd say so.
だけ休まないとね。
だな。
And what does school matter? We're finding artifacts and users. It's we got more important things to do.
いいな、休めて。
Of course, Sora's excited about it. She's like, I get to cut glass.
学校嫌なのか？
そういうわけじゃないけど、ミーアンといたいじゃん。
Of course you are.
何言ってんだお前。
ドキッとしたでしょ、妹の愛に。
Nope, not at all. My heart, you know, it's actually beating slower. I think I'm actually dying right now being around you.
ばっかじゃねえの。
たまにはさ、優しい言葉かけろよな。
Hey, we were pretty nice to you last night, okay? We actually said, hey, thank you. You kind of saved my life and all. We were pretty nice. But don't expect that to last. We're already back to it.
昨日かけただろ。
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
あ、ちょっと一人で立てる？
大丈夫。
I carefully place my feet on the ground and get out of my bed. Gosh, I can only imagine having your limbs turned to stone would feel like if you got sand on you and then it hardened, you know, you put water and then it hardened. Would not be a good feeling. I hate sand. Man, just being able to bend my knee makes a world of difference. I dragged my lame right foot behind me and hobbled to the bathroom. I'm able to brush my teeth just fine with one hand, but washing my face is a bit more of a challenge. Even with a functioning elbow, my petrified hand can't do much. Once I've washed my face, I towel myself off and return to the living room.
ほい、これパン。昨日買ってきたやつ。
Oh, well, thank you.
お前は？
もう食べた。
そっか。
You know, I will take your kind gesture. I sit down on the floor and unwrap the chocolate chip pastry Sora bought for me. Oh, okay. Chocolate chip pastry sounds good. So I start chowing down, Sora heads to the kitchen. A few seconds later, she returns and puts a cup down in front of me.
牛乳。
ありがとう。
Gosh, yes, Sora, you understand. If you're gonna eat a muffin or something, you need milk with it. What else are you supposed to drink? Gosh, God bless Sora. I mean, I didn't think I would ever say that, but she sits back down, and resumes watching her video. That's what I do. I just always have a video going when I'm eating. They say that's really bad, because that's when you tend to overeat. You don't realize how much you're intaking, and I still do it anyways.
あ、みやこ先輩とゆうき先輩に話したよ、昨日のこと。
ああ、うん。
すぐ返事来てお見舞いに来たいって二人とも。
俺のことも話したのか？
Yeah, I feel like they should come and see just so we have like a clear understanding of what we're dealing with. Like, hey, look at my limbs. This is what happens.
そりゃ話すでしょ。心配してたよ。結城先輩は石化に興味ありって感じだったけど。
Yuki probably wants to know if he could like petrify more of his body, he could become the thing from Fantastic Four.
まあ勇気はそうだろうな。
ニーに寝てるから待ってって言ってある。何時ならいい？
They can come over right now.
いつでも。
Why
じゃ
not?
あミャーコ先輩がお昼作ってくれることを期待して今すぐでも OK って言っておこう。
Sora, you're so terrible. I'm gonna make her make lunch for us.
飯か。申し訳ないけど作ってもらえると確かにありがたいな。
I mean, yes, this would be a good situation to have someone like come bring you a meal, right? It's like, hey, I've had a lot going on. Can someone just make me a meal? I'm not really feeling up to it, but just the way Sora says it, like look at this. If I drop enough hints, I bet I can make me I can get me to make lunch for us. This is so terrible. Anyways, let's go ahead and continue on. One quick lunch,
コ
yep,
ンビニ
yep.
お弁当じゃ栄養偏っちゃうしね。あ、期待してじゃなくてちゃんとお願いした方がいいよね。
I don't know. I feel like that's imposing on her. Yes, she is the kind of person who would do that and offer that, but like, let her offer. I'd feel bad if you're like going into like if I drop enough hints.
材料費こっち持ちでお願いしますって。
ほいほい。
Roger Dodger. Okay. Sure, I guess we'll ask her to make food for us. We'll pay for it.
そういえばお母さんからもメッセージ来てた。
Wow, our mom actually cares about
なん
us?
で？
お兄ちゃん大丈夫そうって。
No, I literally would have just gotten sick. What do you mean if I'm feeling better? It's like everyone knows how it goes. Like you start gradually. You start like, you know, I got a little tickle in my throat. That's how I started like a few days ago. And then, you know, like by the next day, you're like, oh, frick, I'm sick. And that's when it's really bad. Like usually the next day, you're like pretty bad too. And then like maybe the day after, like if it's gonna be a short thing, you'll be feeling better. Like you'll gradually get better.
俺に直接聞けばいいのに。
But like what the frick? We just said something last night. Like we would have just gotten sick.
辛いだろうから気を使ってるんでしょ。風邪って言っちゃったし。
ああ、そ
兄やん、お母さんとお父さんの心配とかを素直に受け取らないよね。
反抗期なのかもな。
だっせ。ま、風邪うつされたくないからそっちには行かないけどとかお母様おっしゃってましたけど。
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
そういうとこだよ、うちの親は。そういうとこだよ、本当。そりゃ俺も素直に受け取らないわ。
Honestly, I haven't seen anything that shows they care about him, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't care enough to go see him.
そう言いつつも心配してると思うけどね。前言ってたよ。お兄ちゃん男の子だからあんまりべったりしたら嫌がるよねとか。
Gosh, this story is so unrealistic. What mom would say that? What mom would actually respect your privacy, respect your wishes, and not just like fuss over you anyways? I've never seen a mom like this ever. Like any good mom would never do that. But maybe the really good ones would. I don't know. But I can tell you my mom's never been like, "Oh, okay, you know, Justin wants some space, I'll give him some space." No, never. Absolutely not.
まあ、仮に本当に風邪だったとして、来るって言われてもいいって言っただろうけど。
ニーニがそんなんだからお母さんなりにいい感じの距離保ってるんでしょ。お父さんは何も考えてなさそうだけど。
Yeah, I can tell you as a father that I'm definitely bird-brained at times. As y'all probably can tell, like you're always having to re-explain things to me, or or I just totally miss big plot points in games. Y'all have to point it out, or I'm like saying a word wrong. Y'all pointed that out to me as well.
お前は意外と物事ちゃんと見て
I'm
る
pretty
な。
bird-brained at times.
意外ってなんだよ。12時頃に来るってさ、2人とも。
Swing around noon. It's like what, 9 o'clock right now?
わかっ
Okay,
た。
gives us a few hours. Sora puts down her phone and I go back to my breakfast. We have about 3 hours to kill. There isn't much to do, so we end up spending most of the time lazing around. I mean, what else would you do? Like that's what you should be doing, lazing around, You know, you're trying to recover. Probably should sleep some more and see if you can recover faster that way. But, you know, just before the girls are supposed to arrive, I changed my shirt and fixed up my hair a little. It's like, oh yeah, my legs turned to stone, but I gotta make sure my hair looks good, right? The doorbell rings a few minutes before 12 and Sora goes out to greet our guests.
入って入ってお邪魔しますお邪魔します
Of course she's wearing that outfit. Kujo and Yuki step into my apartment. I like how this is her casual wear. Like, this is just something like, oh, I'm just gonna go out and, you know, hang out. I'm gonna wear this, you know. Not like a t-shirt and jeans or like a nice dress. Nope, gonna wear my gothic Lolita outfit. Fair enough. Though I'm trying to make my petrified limbs as inconspicuous as possible, two girls instantly notice them and their expressions grow worried. Why are you trying to hide it? That's what they came over for, I thought.
大丈夫
Hakaru, you are a strange one.
ああ、見た目はこんなだけど、痛みもないし割と平気。
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it doesn't hurt, or he doesn't have like that kind of like phantom syndrome, like, you know, when if you like, okay, well, probably I would hope none of y'all know, because that would kind of suck, but like when you lose a limb or something, you feel like it's still there even though it's not. I'm surprised he doesn't have a little bit of that, but like the way he got petrified was interesting. It's like certain parts. It's not like he really lost like an entire leg. Like, I feel like it was just parts of a leg and then his arm. It's really interesting how it happened.
昨日は腕も足も曲がらなかったもんねだいぶ良くなったよ
Gosh, that would be scary not being able to like move your joints.
よく見せてくれる
But like, so before just the skin got petrified, like what about his bone? What about the blood in there? Like, what if like this top part of his arm got petrified but not like the hand? Like, is the blood just stuck in there? Like, can your nerves reach your hand? Like, what happens? I feel like that would be very bad. I'm just overthinking this way too much. Yuki squats down beside me and Kujo follows suit. I rest my arm on the table and stretch out my legs so they can get a better look. Read it and weep.
これが魔眼の力
Yep.
衣服ごと石化しているのね
I know, that was so rude. This was like my favorite pair of pants, too.
あ
Crazy.
あ、だから切って脱ぐしかなかった。
触っても
I'm gonna charge her. I'm gonna charge her for damages to my clothes.
力入れないなら、砕けると治らないらしいから。
I mean, can we... I don't know if you could. Like, can you break the harder part of the clothes? I feel like you couldn't differentiate that from, like, the leg part. Yuki traces my petrified pant leg with her index finger.
質感は石と変わりないわね
You really were petrified. Yes, Yuki, thank you. I noticed that.
本当に無事でよかった
Yeah, it's okay, Miyako.
大事な時に
If you want to start hanging out with me, though, you can totally hang out with us, and you can be my girlfriend. It'll be a perfect excuse, right?
いや、完全に油断してた。油断していい状況じゃなかったのにな。俺の判断ミスだよ。
I mean, yeah, Kakaru, like, this was all your fault, completely, 100%. Like, you're lucky you got your butt saved. If freaking Sora wasn't there, you were screwed. No idea what you were trying to do.
敵の目的はあなたを殺すことだったの
Yes.
目的っていうか、手段だな。あいつの本当の目的は、
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an end goal to kill me, but it was a part of her goal, yes.
はいはいお茶入れましたよミーミじゃなくてテーブル囲んで座りましょ
She's trying to assert dominance. She wants us all for herself.
そうねお茶ありがとう
Kujo and Yuki head over to the table and I pull my arm and leg back. Sora sits down as well, then explains everything that happened. About how Ghost's true objective is to steal artifacts and thus why she's trying to kill users. Sora also explains that though she managed to make Ghost disappear, she'll come back eventually. And when she does, she'll try to kill me again. No, not just me, but all of us.
アーティファクト欲しさに人を殺すだなんて
They're pretty strong, and they have a variety of effects. I mean, they're more valuable than any other object I can think of. So I don't really blame her for wanting to kill someone. I mean, we've killed people in history for less, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. But I hope in this conversation they're gonna ask how is she identifying users? I feel like that's an important question that we have not really gotten an answer to. How is she identifying them? Does she have an artifact to do so? And I've wondered that before, but it's not really been addressed yet. The honor of being chosen by a relic. I don't know. Depending on who you ask, it might be a curse. Because now, you think about it, if you're a user, you're being targeted right now. Oh no. No, don't mention that word. Every time I hear Gehenna, I think of Gehenna's Stigma, which is an ending in freaking Steins Gate 0, and it's like, it's this terrible ending. Oh, that's bringing up PTSD flashbacks. I mean, the ending was really cool. Like, that was the first ending I got when I played through the game. But yeah, it's definitely a bad end for a reason, I'll say that. That's the one thing that sucks, is I played through Steins Gate now, and I can't play it on the channel. It's kind of a bummer. I might play, like, Anonymous Code, or, Steins, question mark, whatever that... I don't think that's going to be the official name, but that's what it is right now. I'll probably play those on the channel. And I might play some of the Steins Gate side games. I'm not sure about that. They're not really, like, as much big of a mystery game. I think they're just kind of more, like, slice of life type adventure. This is merely a temporary measure. In time, she'll surely crawl out of the valley of purgatory and stand in the way of us apostles of heaven once more. Yeah, we're apostles of heaven, sure. Even Sora doesn't know what the frick to say to that. That's how you know she said some weird stuff. The situation is clear to me now. I'm a weirdo, and they've figured it out. Yuki downs her tea and gets to her feet. She's like, I'm gonna head out. Yep. Yep. Exactly what I said. She's like, heading out now. See ya. She made us food. What the? She made us 5 different things! What the frick? You're goated. So there was 3 hours before she had to come over. She probably was cooking for a good chunk of that 3 hours. We don't deserve Miyako. We don't. And she probably had to pay for the groceries, so she might have went grocery shopping too, and then cooked the food. Yeah, that would take her a good 3 hours. May Odin's grace be with you. Well, anyway. Freaking Yuki always saying the weirdest things. With that, Yuki heads for the door. I'm about to get up to see her off, but Kujo waves me down before. No need to get up on our account. Since walking is still a bit of a chore, I gratefully relax back into my seat. Kujo waves farewell and follows Yuki to the door. Sora goes after her to see them both off. I hear the door open, then close. There's a loud click as Sora locks it. She then returns to the living room. Freaking, I expect nothing less, honestly. Yeah, Kujo's freaking bringing us buffet in here of food.
その前に少し時間をもらうわよ。
Hey, what the heck? Don't sneak up on me like that. When the frick did you get here? Oh, you're talking before you even got here again. As I'm reaching out to the box of food, Sophie appears above us. I reluctantly lean back and rest my hand in my lap.
どうせならみんないる時に出てくればよかったのに。
Well, I don't think she's shown herself to Yuki yet.
都だけならそうしたでしょうけど、これ以上リスクを背負いたくないのよ。
I mean, she already knows about you, so what's the problem?
結城先輩も仲間なのに。
Yeah, I guess technically though, Sophie didn't choose her, right? Like, Sophie's kind of shown herself to people that she feels like she can completely trust. I mean, Yuki's definitely an odd one, so I wouldn't blame her for being a little iffy on her.
分かっているけど、あの子めんどくさそうなんだもの。
You know, I just thought maybe she doesn't trust her. Nope, she just annoys her. Okay, good to know.
ちが本音か。
そんな話はどうでもいいのよ。石化溶け始めているようね。
I mean, you did predict this, yes.
話してくれるんだよな。
Yes, yes.
そうね。魔眼について
Okay.
話してあげる。
That's fair. Just lay it on me. If we're gonna have some story time, let's get into it. Let's grab some popcorn, guys. Get it done. Sophie floats down to the table and heaves a weary sigh before beginning her
あなたも
story.
知っての通り、魔眼の発動トリガーは視線を合わせること。
Okay.
目が合った瞬間石化が始まる。そらすことも瞬きも許されない。あっちがそらすか完全に石化するまでね。
Freaking, she has her own like Sharingan gun.
何？なんでそれ最初に教えてくれなかったの？知ってたらお兄ちゃん石にならずに済んだじゃん。
Maybe. And I say maybe because do we not remember that Ghost was like being nice to us at first? He would have let down his guard. It would have happened anyways. Like, let's not pretend that this was like not going to be this inevitable thing. Like, she has ways of dealing with Kakeru, okay? Like, he doesn't know what his power is. He doesn't have any way to defend himself. So this was a likely outcome. Like, there was no way he was getting out of that without help. I'm astonished Sora practically never gets angry. Sophie turns to Sora and evaluates her calmly. For once, she doesn't act evasive or insulting. Instead, she gives Sora a
そ
serious
れに
reply.
ついては悪かったと思っているわ。でも立場上話せないこともあるのよ。
I'm trying to figure out what would you call the relationship between us right now? It's like, you know, if we think of Sophie as like an employer, right? Like, to do my job, you know, if I'm like being contracted by Sophie, like I need to know certain information. She's like, well, it's on a need to know basis. Well, I needed it then and I didn't have it. So it's like, yes, I understand, like, hey, you have a lot of important secret information that like you don't really want just getting out there, but it's like at the same time, you've recruited me, you've hired me to do this job, and I need to know everything about this job. I need to have an understanding of it to do it properly. And so, yeah, I kind of agree with Sora, like, hey, this could have helped. At the very least, it could have helped. Like I said, I don't think he would have got out of that situation, even with that knowledge, but it would have at least maybe helped him survive a little bit longer until help got there. You know, providing there was help.
何？話せないことって絶対教えておくべきことじゃん。目を合わせちゃダメって。アーティファクトに関する情報の開示に慎重なのよ。前回は話しすぎて大変なことになった。
I'm guessing this is referring to another branch.
人を信じすぎると混乱が大きくなるの。理解してちょうだい。
Yeah, Sophie's over here looking at it from the perspective of, hey, like, I've given you information in the past, and giving you too much information caused you maybe to be a little more confident than you should be. So, like, I can understand that. But I'm kind of like, hey, you need to throw all that information out there, regardless of the risk of it, because there's a risk by not having it. And I'd rather know.
もういいよ、ソラ。発動条件はソフィーから聞かなくても分かってただろ。あの文献で。
I mean, that's a fair point too, though. Like, they could have probably deduced that without Sophie telling them. But I don't know. It doesn't look good from a trust standpoint when you're like working together and you're like trying to solve this and you're putting your life at risk, and then Sophie's holding out information on us. I think I can see both sides' points, but at the same time, I have to agree more with Sora here, which is surprising. Why am I agreeing with Sora on things now? Why is Sora the voice of reason for me? What happened, game? What is going on here?
そうだけど目を合わせなければ防げるってそこまでは知らなかったじゃん。
そうだが、対面した時点でほぼアウトだろ。チラッとでも見たら終わりなんだ。俺の不注意だったんだ。だからそんなに怒らなくていい。悪いのは俺だ。
Okay, so yes, ultimately this still was your fault. Like, even if we had all the information, like, that wouldn't have changed the fact that Kakeru, like, pretty much got himself in this situation. Did Sophie know about the limit of the range on that, though? Like, apparently there's a limit. Like, she has to be a certain distance from you, and then she has to have eye contact in order to turn you stone, and she has to maintain that eye contact. So we have all this information, right? I'm just wondering if she knew about the range. Technically, if we followed Sophie's advice and just steered away from her completely, we would have been fine. So, like, yes, I don't really want to, like, throw a bunch of blame on Sophie either. It feels like if we're working together, I need as much information as possible. Like, I need to know why. I'm just the kind of person, like, if I'm going to do something, I don't want to do it blindly. I want to have a reason for doing it. Like, hey, I'm avoiding her. She's really strong, right? Oh, and if you make eye contact with her, that's how she turns you to stone, okay? Like, oh, okay, then that's good. Like, if I run into her, which is something that's very likely or very possible, like, she could just run into me, not me running into her. I mean, Kakeru went to the park by himself, so he pretty much ran into her, right? But, like, he could have ran into her just randomly out somewhere, and he needed to know, like, hey, avoid eye contact, just, like, don't look at her, right? So I'm like, yes, I sympathize with both sides here. Both have some stuff that's right, but I still agree, should have had all the information. And then Sophie could have emphasized, hey, like, this is all of it. And then, like, hey, you need to avoid her at all costs, though. Like, she is pretty deadly. Even knowing that, you're not going to, like, be able to get out of it. Alright, I'm done ranting about it. Sora knows I'm right, even if emotionally she can't accept it. I don't know. I sympathize with Sora, and the game's telling me that Sora is overreacting. So, am I overreacting, guys? I don't know. I smile and nod at her, telling her thanks for getting mad for my sake before I wave at Sophie to continue.
とにかく魔眼に睨まれたらそれで終わり。自力では抗えない。
Yes, but it doesn't seem like she's activating it right away. I mean, I feel like you do have some time to get out of it. It's not like, okay, does she just need to make eye contact once and then you're gone? Or, like, does she need to, like, actively maintain it, right? Like, okay, if I just look at her real quick and then look away, like, unless she activated in that moment, I should be fine, right?
けど、誰かが視界を遮ってくれればか。ソフィーが横切った時、金縛りが解けたんだ。そういうことだよな。
ええ。だから1対1を避ければ魔眼から
Yeah,
逃
I
れ
think
る
that's
こ
the
とは
lesson
容
here.
易よ。
Just don't do one-on-one. But, I wonder, can I use sunglasses to evade it? Just, like, wear some sunglasses, like... We can wear some, aviators, that'd be cool.
なるほどな。
いいのよ。情報を出し渋ったのも助けるかどうか迷ったのも事実だし。
I mean, I'm not really, like, giving Sophie a lot of crap, because Sophie actually came and saved us, so... I mean, we probably would have been turned to stone without her, because it seemed like Sora was understandably a little bit scared, so... Not really blaming Sora for that at all, either. I mean, like I said, it was Kakuru's fault. It just is. But, he let the curiosity get the better of him. want to thank her for looking out for Sora, but since Sora seems angry with Sophie, now is a kind of awkward time to say it. Instead, I fill the silence with something else that comes to mind.
石化した時はかなり絶望したが、治らないと思ったこれ。
死んだらおしまいよ。最初の子、指先だったかしら。
Yeah, I guess so.
ああ、人差し指だったな、確か。
表面だけだったのでしょ、石になったのは。おそらく全身が石に覆われた後もかろうじて生きていたのでしょうね。
Was she able to come back from that then?
爪が解除された時点で死んだってことか。
Oh, okay. So it really just delayed her death. Like, so the outside of her was stone, but like she was still kind of alive. Oh, well, that's kind of sad. I would rather she just be dead.
無すぎるでしょ。
Yeah. Imagine that's just like a stone cage. You're just sitting there waiting to die.
そうだな。
見る限り魔眼の扱いに相当慣れてきたようね。今は体の内部まで石になっている。
Okay, so I was right. Like, hey, she's getting better with each one.
即死ではないけれど、胴体の一部が石になった時点でほぼアウトね。そこで進行が止まっても、臓器が石になってしまったらおしまい。
Yeah, probably the next time we face her, it'll be a lot harder.
その後、石になったユーザーを砕いてアーティファクトを奪う。
わざわざ砕かなくてもいいじゃん。いや、殺すなって話なんだけど。手っ取り早いとは言えないけれど、確実なのよ。1対1の状況で視線を合わせる。あの子が持っている他のアーティファクトで相手を攻撃し、死に至らしめるよりもはるかに楽。
Yeah, definitely. It's her best bet.
だからあなたたちも知っての通り、イーリスも魔眼を使ってアーティファクトを回収したの。
ソフィーの口からそれを聞くのは初めてだな。やっぱりイーリスは魔眼の使い手だったのか。
So that means Iris is dead. Right?
少し話しすぎたわね。え、そうよ。
I mean, I don't know that 100%, but that's what I would assume. If there's another user of the evil eye, that would mean that somebody got it from them, which would either they'd have to like steal it like Miyako's power, right? I think Miyako can kind of do that, or no, it still returns to them, doesn't it? I would assume they're dead.
手放した魔眼がこっちに流れ着いたって
Oh,
ことだ
no, she relinquished it. Okay.
その解釈でいいわ。なんでそんな危ないもの手放したんだろう。厳重に保管とかしておいてほしいよね。いろいろとあるのよ。いろいろとね。魔眼については以上よ。
I mean, it's still possible she's dead, but it sounds like she somehow relinquished it. Not sure how you go about
話
that.
が前後してしまったことは改めて謝罪するわ。ごめんなさい。
I will say, like, the story is interesting because we're focusing on Kakeru, who, like, doesn't know what his artifact is, doesn't know what his power is, has never really, like, gotten information from his. We've only heard it from other people's accounts. Like, hey, like, when you get your artifact, you somehow, like, know how to use it and stuff like that. We haven't had that moment yet. So it's very interesting for us as the reader. We've heard about it from other people. Don't actually know how that works, just because we've only seen through Kakeru's eyes. We don't have a first-hand experience of that. So it's very interesting. I wonder if we're going to have that eventually. Like, our situation is just so strange compared to everybody else's. I'm just not really sure what to make of it.
ソフィーからごめんなさいなんて言葉が聞けるなんてな。
Yeah, that is a good point. Like, when has Sophie ever said sorry for
こ
anything?
れでも責任は感じているのよ。もう少しあなたたちを信用すべきだったわ。
But yeah, and I kind of talked to y'all in the comments about that a little bit. Like, Sophie is, like, slowly opening up to Kakeru, like, learning to trust him and rely on him more. Which is a good thing, I think. I think that's pretty necessary for what they're doing, especially because she's the one who's, like, trying to recruit us to find these artifacts. Probably going forward, she's going to give us more information. I think, like, just before, maybe she just didn't trust us enough to have the information about the evil eye and things like that. Because, I mean, let's be honest, there was always a chance that we could, like, defeat somebody like that and try to use the artifact ourselves. Like, we could become, like, a greater villain, right? Because Sophie, Sophie probably looks at us and is like, hey, I don't know what his power is. I don't know what his artifact is or what it does or anything. We're kind of a wild card, and Ghost kind of, I feel like, noticed that too. She doesn't really know what our power is, and she was trying to draw us out to use it, but we never ended up doing that, just because we have no freaking idea how to do that. But it's interesting seeing everyone react to Kakeru in a certain way, because they just don't know what to expect from him.
でもまだ隠し事はあるんだろ。
当然よ。
Oh yeah, freaking of course. I don't think she's gonna start giving out loads of information, but maybe she'll be like, oh, okay, maybe this is pertinent to what you're doing. So I'll throw that in there. Sophie scoffs after a few seconds. Sora looks up awkwardly up at her.
昨日フォローしてもらったのに急に怒ってごめんなさい。フォローした記憶はないし、あなたの怒りはもっともよ。他に何か聞きたいことはある？ないの？本当に？別
I
に。
mean, I would have plenty of questions for Sophie, but you know, they never will ask any of the questions I have, so I'm not even gonna bother.
それならいいけれど。かけるは？
いや、俺もいい。
そう。じゃあ私は行くわ。レイヤーだったかしら。今のところ動きはないわよ。まだ気づいていない。
わかった。一個だけあったな、聞きたいこと。ゴーストに協力している異世界人は？
特定中。
そうか。ゴーストが復活したらすぐに教えてほしい。
わかってるわよ。じゃあね。今はゆっくりと休みなさい。
I will say one thing we haven't discussed is what is our plan when she does come back. What are we supposed to do here? Are we just gonna try to delete her from existence again? Like, I feel like we're just kind of biding our time, and I feel like we should maybe be coming up with an idea of what we're doing. I stare at the spot she disappeared from for a few seconds and look back down at the table.
食うか。いただきます。
いただきます。
We unwrap the lunch boxes and open the lids. They're packed to the brim with rice balls, sandwiches, fried chicken, sausages, omelets. Oh, frick, there's even more stuff than she said. She said like 5 things. This is way more. Cherry tomatoes, stir-fried spinach, and chopped burdock with a soy sauce glaze. So she only mentioned like the main entrees. There's literally side dishes in here.
遠足とかでテンション上がる感じのお弁当。
A kind of hype lunch.
俺さ、こういうの好きなんだよな。
And pick up one of the rice balls and take a bite. Sora follows suit.
うまっ。どうすか？ニーヤン的には。
I know, this is like a whole freaking spread of food.
うまい。
It's ridiculous.
そうじゃねえよ。
I mean, I'm happy for him. It's like so ridiculous that she makes so much food like this. I don't know. I feel like Japanese lunches, from what I've seen though, are a lot more varied. Like you have like the bento box and you have like 5 different things in there, right? Which is crazy to me. I'm used to just like, okay, you get like 1 entree and you'll get like maybe 2 sides with it. But no, they're like, let's have 5 different entrees, and then surprise, there's like 3 different side dishes in there. And they're all like really extensively hard things to make. Like, this isn't something you just whip up casually, okay? Like, this is something you gotta put some effort into, you gotta measure out stuff. Like, dang. Wish I had someone who cooked like that for me. I mean, my wife does cook some pretty good food. That does take a lot of time, but not just casually like that when you're just coming over.
なんだよ。
美少女のクラスメイトが握ったおにぎりはどうかって聞いてんだよ。
Feels pretty good.
何言ってんのお前。
美少女のクラスメイトの手汗が染み込んだおにぎりはどうだって聞いてんだよ、あたしゃ。
Or you sound like the biggest degenerate right now. Who thinks about that?
何切れてんだよ。うまいよ。そりゃうまいよ。
にゃーこ先輩の写真つけて売れば人儲けできそう。
Okay.
クズかよお前。買うわ。
Wow, Kakeru admitting to it too.
私が握ったのと。
九条。
いや、早えよ。せめて最後まで聞けよ。最後まで聞いた上で答えろよ。
Just shutting her down. All right, we're back to the old Sora. I
じゃ
like
あ
it.
言えよ。言ってみろよ。
私が握ったのとみやこ先輩が握っ
九条。
だから早いよニーニの何それ昆布
うん。
私のおかかだった全部具が違うのかなみやこ先輩すんごい手間かけて作ってくれてるね
I believe bonito, that's like fish, right? Is that like, I don't know if that's the actual fish or if that's like the stock, because I know you can make a stock out of it. And I know that because of Cafe Stella. Look, I remembered something, guys. Aren't you proud of me?
唐揚げもうまい。
Watch me be totally wrong on that too. Like someone's gonna comment like, Justin, you were totally wrong on that. That's like actually some kind of leaf. It's not even a fish. I'm like, frick. Ruining my moment. Fried chicken's great too.
可愛くて性格も良くて料理も完璧とか同じ人間とは思えませんな本当だうまっ
Sora wolfs down our lunch like a starving animal. I eat too, albeit at a slower pace. I can't thank Cujo enough. This was the best darn lunch I've had in a while. What can I say, guys? She's best girl. I've been saying this all along. I mean, Yuki might be up there too. We'll have to see. But I'll save my judgment for after I've beaten the whole game. And apparently there's some other side game too. So there's like the 4 main games, and then there's like another episode. Is that what it's called? Freaking, I don't know. I've tried not to look into it. I don't want spoilers. The two of us spend the rest of our day hanging out in my apartment. We eat the leftovers from Cujo for dinner and pass the time watching movies. As far as I can tell, the petrification hasn't receded much further. I was kind of hoping it'd make real progress over the day and that I'd be cured by tomorrow, but I guess I was asking too much. I wonder if it only heals in my sleep or if there's some other condition that has to be met for it to go away. Yeah, I kind of speculated maybe it was when he was sleeping. That's why I said he should sleep more, but, you know, he just wants to not ruin his sleep schedule. It's like, my guy, your leg got turned to stone. You make an exception, okay? You'll be okay. At any rate, looks like I'm going to be stuck with these stone limbs for at least a few days more.
ニーニーお風呂掃除終わったよ
Sora walks to the living room. Since yesterday, she's been taking care of all the chores. Crazy. I never would have expected that. Normally, she's a cocky little brat, but sometimes it's at times like these I remember I'm blessed to have such a good sister. Oh no. Nope, 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 nope. He's saying it, guys. He's saying it. He's giving her praise. This is where it all goes downhill. All goes downhill from here. They must never ever tell her that. It'll go right to her head. Yes, just forget you ever thought of that.
今日は入るでしょ
Erase it from your memory.
ああ、そうだな。中途半端に元に戻ってるズボンを濡らすのがちょっと嫌なんだが。
切っちゃえばどうせもう履けないんだし
そうか。
やってあげる
悪い。
Sora grabs a pair of scissors and hungers down in front of my leg. She skillfully cuts through the cloth that's unpetrified since last night.
切りにくい
あんまり引っ張らないでくれよ。なんかいろいろと持っていかれそうだ。
Just like, oops, you ripped out my entire nervous system.
分かってます分かってます石になってるところ完全にひっついてるね足と
Yeah,
たまに
probably.
痒くなるんだよな。何も感じないはずなのに。
あああれだあれでしょなんだっけあファントムペイン
Ooh, they're mentioning Phantom. Oh, yeah, because remember I was talking about that, like if you lost a limb or something, you'd still feel it?
言いたかっただけだろ、それ。
うん
でもま、近いのかもな。
Okay.
手足がないようであるっていうか、変な感じだ。
Yeah.
早く治ればいいけどよし切れた
ありがとう。先入っていいか？
いいけどまだお湯張ってないよ掃除しただけ
I mean, I feel like Sora should use the tub first, because you're like part stone. What if you get a bunch of like, I don't know, stone in there? Like, I'm trying to think. Like, what would it be if you like smash stone into small pieces? Would it just be smaller stones? Or like, what if I like grated it? What would that be? Like dust? Like stone dust?
ちゃんと湯船浸かればいいのに
治ったらな。
I grab my towel and a change of clothes from the closet, then head to the bathroom.
脱ぐの手伝おうか
いいよ。
With a bit of effort, I managed to pull off my clothes and throw them into the washing machine. This isn't going to be a scene where Sora comes in and takes a bath with us, is it? I sense it. My spidey senses are tingling right now. Enter the bathroom, close the door, and turn on the shower. Just as the water starts steaming, I see a silhouette outside the door. See, this is where you know it's all going wrong. When they show somebody in the shower, you know it's going to be some excuse to do a lewd scene, okay? The looks of it, Sora's fiddling with the
こんな
washing
時間に
machine.
洗濯機回すなよ。
ああ、しないよ別に。
ああ、
背中流してあげようと思って。
Oh gosh. Alright, guys. I'm going to do my typical spiel. Might have to censor this.
いいって、
We'll see.
そんなの。
If they just kept it white, that would be fine. I would read it, and it would be great.
遠慮するなするな。
But you know Sora's got other
し
intentions.
てねって。
でももう脱いじゃったし。
は
Please don't show it. I love when the screen was shaking and like part of it was like dark up here because it's just like a white thing. It's like a white image that moves. Sora flings open the door and waltzes in buck naked. Wow, couldn't see that coming. Wait, no, seriously, what the hell is this girl thinking? That's the thing, she's not. Like, he's like wearing something though in that little sprite down there. No. Overwhelmed by her enthusiasm, I immediately sit at the stool. Sora tilts the shower head towards me, puts some shampoo on her hands, and start running them through my hair. Guys, what is this? What is this? Do I need to censor this? What do I need to do with this? I don't know. Freaking, I love how her lips curl into that little, like, cat-looking thing. I think you meant to say genius. Sure. Totally.
ってないからいいでしょ。
さっき見えてたっつうの。
気にすんな。私もニーニーの見えてるし。
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course you're enjoying that, huh?
頼むからさ。もっと恥じらいってやつをさ。
持ってますよ。家族なんだから意識する方がおかしいでしょ。
Yeah, but family doesn't usually do that, like, after a certain age. That's something you do when you're, like, a child, okay? I think that's weird, but I don't know. I'm also the kind of person who'd probably go to one of those hot springs, right? That they have in Japan where you can go as a family and you can all just be naked. I'd totally do that. Like, that would be nice. And I'm not saying just because, like, oh, we're naked. I'm just saying because I would feel comfortable doing that. But then again, that's like a scenario where it's like, okay, you know what you're getting into before you go. Like, this is like just kind of a random spur the moment thing. And it also feels a little bit weird because of the comment she made before about wanting him to screw her. You know, I would be a little bit uncomfortable.
いや、限度があるよ。家族でも。限度がありますよ。
こんなの全然セーフでしょ。妹に浴場してるニーニーがおかしいよ。
That's your baggage, not mine.
してねえよ。ぶっ飛ばすぞ。
切れてるところが怪しい。やだ、襲われる。
Gosh, the amount of Alabama in this room is intensifying very fast. I can hear Roll Tide.
何？照れてんの？
人のため息をポジティブに受け取るな。
別にいいじゃん。初めてじゃないじゃん。よく一緒に入ってたじゃん。
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's fine when you're children and it's not weird. But like after you've gone through puberty and stuff, that's when it gets weird to me.
今みたいにお前が無理やり入ってきたからだろ。
ニーニが中学に入ってからはやめたじゃん。
ガチギレしたからな、俺。
あれほんと怖かった。
お前が泣きわめいたせいで、あの後俺が怒られたんだからな。空をいじめるなって。
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure we did.
違うど、あたちがバドゥイドってさらに泣いた気がする。
Don't blame him. What's up with the really broken English? It's all my fault. Don't blame
お
him.
かげでさらに怒られた。空のせいにしてって。
そっか、そうやって虐げられてきたからニーニはひねくれたわけだな。
What do you mean twisted?
お前が言うな、お前が。
お詫びにご奉仕させていただきますんで。
この状況でその言葉のチョイスはおかしいだろ。
何を想像してるのかな。あれでしょ、知ってるよ私。体にボディーソープつけてこすりつけるんでしょ。
Let's not say we didn't.
どこでそういう知識仕入れてんの？
そんなもんネットにいくらでも転がってるでしょ。よし、任せなさいよ。
Okay, Sora, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. The internet is it's a scary place. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on it. There's a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. You know, you can find many things.
おいバカ、本気でやろうとするな。
But she's just probably reading some dirty manga. It would happen all the time.
できるって。
It's interesting reading the summertime rendering manga where like the facial expressions are a lot scarier. They show like a little bit of like nudity and stuff, right? And then you watch the anime and it's like they covered all that up. It's like a lot more chill.
できるできないの話はしてねえよ、アホか。
I lean forward as far as possible, trying to escape the sensation of Sora's breast pressing against my back. I see, that's where I'm like, no, that's not okay.
なんだよ、洗ってあげるって。
もういいよ、頭もいい。
まだ途中だよ。
十分だよ、ありがとう。
It's like, yeah, can we get out of that? Let's just dip. I stand up and rinse myself
ちゃん
off.
と洗わないと。
流せば十分。
This
私
freaking
の
game.
タオル使わないでよ。
わ
I towel myself off, grab my clothes, and hobble to the living room. Flustered, I throw my clothes on and plop down onto the bed. I'm still a little shaken. I can't believe I was getting turned on by my... Ew, and he what? Bruh. Okay. Okay. Saved. So where it tends to act on impulse, it's not uncommon for crazy antics to surprise me or even piss me off. Because y'all have said they don't do the thing where like, oh, we're not actually like blood related or whatever, or we're not actually like that close. Like they are brother and sister. They are as close as you can get. So I'm curious how they're gonna do this. Are they really just gonna go? They're just gonna go full incest, go full Alabama. She never do anything outright wrong. Whenever she gets close to that line of what's acceptable, she then stops and thinks better. I'm pretty sure she's got her head on straight, but got a bad feeling. Yeah, Kakeru, she's totally into you. It's so obvious. I'm far from certain, but I can't shake this nagging premonition. I just pray I'm wrong. But even as I pray, I can't help but frantically try to organize my thoughts. If my fear turns out to be true and matters come to a head, what can I do? What would the right thing to do? I don't know. I guess you either tell her no, or you move to Alabama and just embrace it and live a happy life. Anyways, guys, I think we end it here. I think this is a good stopping point. Oh boy, what in the world is going on? Our sister is coming on to us. I gotta figure out if I need to censor that scene or not, because I'm like, showed it didn't show anything, but it did show some stuff. Let's say that. So this episode was pretty much just kind of some clarification. We're still healing, so I'm sure we're gonna build up to something here soon. Not sure if I would expect too much crazy going on next episode either, but you know, we'll see. I'm down for it. I'm here if it happens, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one.